Dr. Joel Burvell joins us now. He's known across social media as the medical mythbuster. Dr. Burvell, it is such a pleasure to have you with us. I love watching you on social media bust these myths for everyone. And in this case, you say that men's health is at a critical moment. Why? Why are men so health care averse?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me back. And I really think a lot of this comes down to culture. I think men are taught to tough it out, equating strength often with silence. And that conditioning can make it hard to open up, to be vulnerable about health concerns. And there's also a real access gap and trust gap when many men don't have a regular doctor or feel uncomfortable bringing up sensitive issues. And the problem is when care is delayed, conditions that could have been prevented or treated earlier are often caught too late. And I think true strength is really taking care of yourself and not ignoring the warning signs.
True strength. We like that, Dr. Burvell. So let's talk about what the doctor's appointment actually looks like once it's booked. What are men going to encounter during a traditional annual visit?
Absolutely. So during a physical exam, that's one thing you'll receive. And doctors will check vitals like blood pressure, your heart rate, will check your weight, your BMI. You might even get a head to toe exam. So that could be looking at your eyes, your ears, heart, lungs, abdomen, skin, all these different places. For men, sometimes you'll have a testicular exam, checking for things like lumps or hernias. And many providers will also ask about mood, sleep, and stress, which can exacerbate specific conditions. If you end up needing labs, some of the most common labs you might get are things like your cholesterol checked, diabetes screening, STI testing, plus screenings for things like colon cancer, which start at 45 for most people, but talk to your doctor because that can be changed, and prostate cancer as well. And those discussions usually start around age 50 or earlier if there's a family history.
Speaking of discussions, one of the things that I love that you do on Instagram, for example, is you say the thing. You say the thing even if it's hard to talk about. One of those things is the large racial gap we see when we look at this data. I mean, black men face even higher risks of certain illnesses like prostate cancer, heart disease, compared to white men. Why do you think the gap exists, but perhaps why are we missing the gap?
Absolutely. Like you said, black men face higher rates of prostate cancer, of heart disease, of hypertension. And that's because of less access to early screening, biases in care that exist, and chronic stress that can exist from racism. I always say it's not about biology, it's about inequity. Studies show that even when symptoms are the same, that black men are less likely to be offered the same treatment or follow-up.
Wow.
And that fix really starts with trust, making sure that healthcare is equitable, that it's culturally competent, and it's rooted primarily in respect. Just this past weekend, I was talking to someone who said, I haven't been to the doctor in 15 years. And I sat down with him, and it wasn't my patient, but I just told him, here are the things that you want to be thinking about. Think about your doctor as a coach, someone that's trying to guide you and build up your strength for the long term. And he said he was going to go try and find a doctor after that. So that was a win for me.